Committed to creating and sharing knowledge that empowers children and young people to understand the steps they can take to reduce their risks, increase their resilience to mental health problems, and improve their mental health.
Our vision is to create a world with a sound mental health for all.
People do attempt suicide.
Naturally, people are born to judge. But judging and expressing the judgment is not something that we can preserve for ourselves.
We find that suicide bereavement is even more difficult than losing someone through natural death.
Be empathetic in the way you approach their situation. Because if you show too much sympathy, they will also start feeling guilty.
Greetings to you all. Welcome to our show, Tap In. Hi, everyone. This is Tap In. My name is Calvin. I'm going to be your host for today. And welcome to another exciting show as we're going to be discussing on kindness, the beauty of kindness, how to practice kindness, how to build kindness, and actually how to be kind in general in our society. The world has been changing, and in this modern world, things are changing. So we have to try to keep the basics and try to be as enlightened as possible. So today we have Miss Edith, we have Miss Evelyn, and we have Miss Anna who are joining us for today's show. So here with me in the studio, I have Miss Evelyn. Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Evelyn Gwenyam. I am a mental health lover, I think, and I love practicing kindness, and this is going to be an awesome show because we have a lot to talk about, and everyone has to know about kindness and to practice it, because kindness starts with me, starts with you, and one of the greatest things that we as the human race can do is kindness. The first is kindness, the second is kindness, and the third is kindness.
Oh, thank you. Welcome, Miss Evelyn.
Thank you.
We also have Miss Edith, who is joining us online. Miss Edith, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Edith Kasukuwere. I'm a rehabilitation technician and a counselor, and I'm also the public relations officer for Young People Mental Health Trust. And I believe that mental health is for all, and we need to have a sound mental health. And for you to have a sound mental health, it has to start with you being kind to yourself, and it has to start with you taking care of yourself as an individual.
Thank you and welcome to the show. Going to Miss Anna. Miss Anna, may you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Rudo. I am a psychology graduate from Africa University, and I work under the Public Relations Department of Yopatal's Young People Mental Health Trust, and hope to be able to impact kindness onto this platform, because there are so many mean people in this world that a little bit of kindness could really go a long way.
Oh, thank you and welcome to the show. I'm actually gonna start with you, Miss Anna. Do you mind telling us what kindness really means?
Okay. So my definition of kindness is selflessness. It's when you do something nice for someone else besides yourself. It's pretty much compassion.
Sorry, we have lost Miss Anna Day, who was joining us online. So I'm just going to switch to Miss Evelyn, woman with in the studio. Miss Evelyn, please tell us what kindness is. What does it mean, really?
Okay, kindness means a lot of things. Just as Miss Anna has said that it means being nice. Well, for me, kindness really differs, and I have seen a lot of people expressing kindness in a lot of different ways. Some people understand kindness as being given things. other people understand kindness as being told, wow, what a lovely blue dress you're wearing today. You know, other people understand kindness as being given money. I'll understand kindness as being given money as well, but you know, there are a lot of there are a lot of ways that kindness can be shown, and it can be something as easy as giving the next person just an appreciation or words of affirmation to say, oh wow, I think you're doing a great job. I think whatever you're doing is nice, or picking a flower, you know, like sometimes you might think kindness is a bit complicated for us to understand, but the easiest, I like the simple things of life. So the easiest, I will say, kindness is when you take that ECD child and just observe them, what they do. I think that's a whole book on kindness. They draw nice drawings of you, and it's just like stick people, and they give you, and they're like, and you take it up and you're like, oh wow, is that me? Like, oh wow, thank you so much. That is kindness. And kindness can be as complicated as buying someone a house in Borodale, or you know, it kindness just differs, and it can be different from one person to the next. And it's all about understanding how that person you want to impact kindness accepts kindness and also views kindness.
Oh, this is interesting. I think I would love to play with you so that at least I get to have some little fun. Coming to you, Miss Edith, how do you describe a kind person?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Sorry, how do you describe a kind person?
Okay. Also, a kind person is someone who was selfless. As Anna mentioned, that kindness is selflessness. Someone who considers others first before themselves. They have other people's feelings at heart. They have other people's. They consider other people's emotions, other people's feelings. They consider other people's basic needs, basic desires ahead of them. They quick to motivate others. They're quick to encourage others. They give without thinking twice. Like a kind person is like right now you can ask me, please give me your phone, and I just give you without thinking twice. That's more or less kindness. A kind person is not afraid of losing anything, because they understand that the next person needs what they have more than them.
Thank you. So please just give us any insights into kindness that you can think of. Just any insights really into kindness that you can think of.
Okay, so the greatest insight into kindness is self-care. Like, kindness begins with how I deal with myself as an individual, how I take care of myself. If I want the next person, if I want to be able to respect the next person, I have to be able to respect myself first. If I want to be able to give the next person something, like for example a gift, or like Evelyn mentioned, buying the next person a house in Borodale, I have to also be able to afford a house for myself in Borodale. So self-care has a lot of aspects that an individual can take care of. Like, for example, the individual should be mindful. Like, I should be mindful of myself, what upsets me, what makes me happy, what makes me appreciate the next person. Do I appreciate myself? Am I confident about myself? This is all these are all acts of kindness, and they start with me getting to know myself, being mindful of who I am, me being mindful of how my environment affects me, and how the people around me affect me as an individual, and then being able to appreciate my existence, and also making sure that I get enough rest whenever possible, and also making sure that I take care of my body as is required for me as an individual. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to all the adolescents, children who are listening right now, please take due notes of what kindness is, because that's how you grow and that's how you become better. Coming to you, Miss Evelyn, please, we've heard some of the points from Miss Edith, but please just give us an insight into kindness that you know, any insight that you can give us.
Okay. I heard you mentioning adolescence. I think kindness differs really with the path of life that you are in, or the stage of life that you are in. Because kindness is portrayed differently when you are an infant, is portrayed differently when you're now an adolescent, when you are now old, when you are now a young adult. So since you mentioned adolescence, is it okay if we maybe start with the adolescents and then we broaden it to the adults?
Yes, it's fine. We can start with adolescence, because I think that's the age that one actually, starts getting into the society. So we want to try to help as much as we can to those young people who are actually trying to fit into the modern world.
Okay, so I will tell you my experiences, because I believe everyone can read what kindness is on the internet, but sometimes I feel that personal touch makes all the magic happen. So for me, kindness, when I was an adolescent, I would have perceived it as wanting the fanciest clothes at my time. And at our time, we had color blocking clothes. I would have considered kindness at that age having a phone. We didn't have these smartphones really, but I would have considered it having a phone. Like if my mom didn't buy me that phone, I felt like she was mean. She hated me, and all these things. But actually now, when I am looking at my 15-year-old self, I'm like, oh wow, my mom was actually quite kind to me. Because if I actually had that phone at that time, well, we were not so high on pornography at that time to that I might have been viewing pornography, but it would have actually taken a lot of my study time, which I didn't realize. And really, clothes come and go. We have come with the color blocking era, which none of these people know about right now. And there were hipsters. Hipsters were once a thing, and I really wanted one, and I didn't get one, and I thought they hated me. And that is all kindness. Now, when you're looking back, you're like, oh wow, they were actually kind to me, because I actually did have clothes to wear. I would wear really decently all the time, and things were happening to me. But I feel like sometimes there's a breach between adolescents and adults and parents, actually, because for me as an adolescent, I'm like, mommy, I want the latest phone. I want the iPhone 12 Pro, I think, yeah. And my mom is like, no, you can't get the iPhone 12 Pro. And I see that as not being loved. But that child doesn't interpret it that way. They're like, oh, this is the meanest mom ever. I feel like sometimes we really do have to have a breach between parents and children, that the children have a way to know that, oh no, but this person is saying no, but they still love me. It doesn't change that they are my mom, or that they love me, or that they'll continue expressing good things for me. And it also doesn't mean that when adults give us advice, they hate us, or they don't want us to enjoy, to have a good life. Because sometimes I really, really felt like my mother, I am so sorry, my mom, when you see this thing, was really hard on us, because we'll ask to go to the movies and she'll be like, no, you're not going to the movies. The things that happen at the movies are bad. And you're like, but it's a movie house. We're watching movies. What could go wrong in the movie houses? And well, now I know that a lot could go bad in the movie houses. But still, I didn't know that she was doing all of those things out of kindness. But I wish, like, parents, children could know that actually everything that our parents tell us is because they love us. They love us so much, and they wouldn't do bad or mean things to us. And the fact that we're talking about kindness right now means that there's something which is going wrong around us, because we cannot just talk about kindness out of nowhere, because it will be the normal order of the day. But we're talking about kindness today because we have seen there's something wrong that is going on in our society, that is going on with our youth, that is going on with our adults. Sometimes to understand something, you have to be told by someone who has been through it or who is more similar like you. For example, I didn't take quite well my mother telling me to study or not to have boyfriends at school, because everyone was doing it and it seemed like so normal. And when she was telling me those words, I'll be like, you don't know what you're talking about. The world out there is doing these things. This is like a good thing. Why are you saying no to me? Because this is like a good thing. And I didn't really get it. But now I get that, oh no, those were really bad things. And as such, we need to know the reasons behind. I feel like parents should find a way to make us understand the reason behind why they do certain things for us, because the main goal is that they love us and they care for us. And for our youth today, like, doing drugs is the in thing, not having good manners is the in thing. And by doing drugs, by losing our morals, our manners, we have actually neglected kindness along the way. And this and other means possible, people are trying to reawaken that good deed thing up again, to say, no, guys, let's say no to drugs because they ruin us, they ruin our futures, they ruin our bodies, they ruin our mental health, they ruin a lot of things, and they make us stop being selfless. Because if I'm doing drugs right now, the only thing I'm thinking about is me. When am I going to get my next high? Where am I going to get the money to buy my next drugs? It's all about me, 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 me. I want to get the latest phone. I want to, I. And as we have heard, the definition of kindness is being selfless and doing something nice for the next person. But if your mind is now so concentrated on you, when do you have the time to do something nice for the next person?
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Coming to you, Miss Edith, as a psychologist, what is the relationship between mental well-being, or rather psychological well-being, and kindness? Is there any link between the two?
Okay, so I understand that being kind will boost someone's confidence, and because an individual is now confident, they'll actually be able to feel that they are well. Like, when you do something good for the next person, you tend to feel like you have been fulfilled, because you are doing this as a selfless act. So there's that feeling of fulfillment. Hence, an individual's well-being is maintained in that way. Also, when an individual does acts of kindness, they manage to do what is good. Okay, so when an individual does an act of kindness, they there's that feeling that develops in the nervous system of an individual, that the individual feels that they have been emotionally fulfilled, and they've done something good for themselves, and they've also done something good for the next person. Hence, even at the levels of being stressed, the levels of being emotionally disturbed, they are less when an individual does acts of kindness as compared to when an individual is not being kind. Many a times when an individual is fails to be kind, there's a tendency that an individual can easily get stressed. They easily feel fatigued because somehow it's in us as individuals to know that we are supposed to do something good for the next person. And then when you fail to do that good thing, there is the tendency that you tend to feel low, you tend to feel emotionally unstable, you tend to have negative energy going all over you. But when you are kind, when you are managing kindness and being kind to the next person, you will be able to feel that there is no longer stress, there is confidence, there's happiness, and even the next person is happy because you are being part and parcel of their lives.
We move on to Miss Evelyn. What are really the acts of kindness? What are the acts of kindness really? Sorry, before we move to Miss Evelyn, do you mind please to tell us what are the acts of kindness exactly? What are the acts of kindness?
Okay. Okay, so the acts of kindness, we have so many of them, but the acts of kindness are basically what we do on a day-to-day basis to the next person. Like, for example, Miss Evelyn once mentioned that an individual can buy you a house just without you asking them for it. So this is what you do for a person without them asking you for it. Like, for example, at work, you just get at work, then you decide to clean the place instead of the person who's supposed to clean the place every day, or you just decide to do something for the next person. For example, you can lend a hand to an elderly person who's carrying heavy things. That's an act of kindness. You can decide to assist an orphan, help them get to school. That's an act of kindness. You can decide to help maybe go to an old people's home, just visit them, spend time with them. That's an act of kindness. Or you can actually choose maybe to befriend that person that you're seeing that they're depressed. That's an act of kindness. Or you can actually choose to talk to the youth, as Evelyn mentioning that it has become the individual. You can actually decide to talk to the youth, or you can actually decide to engage a friend, try to help them get over the drug abuse that they are going through. That's an act of kindness. You can even, as a child, decide to just talk to your parents on issues.
Sorry, we've lost Miss Edith there. I think it's because of the network issues. Miss Evelyn, what does kindness do to a person? We've had the acts of kindness. You've actually shared some of the acts of kindness, but how do they have any effect to the person that you're actually showing the kindness?
Absolutely. When you do something, it's a natural law that if you do something, there's definitely something in return that you're getting back. So there is this saying which says, if you plant, you definitely know that at some point you're going to reap. So in as much as kindness is concerned, the more we plant, the more we get to reap. And the more maybe you do a small deed, maybe, for example, sweeping the office, when it's nobody's obligation, but you all get to have a clean working space. Sometimes it's seen like as a small thing, but definitely one day you might actually reap, because some people might sit down and be like, oh, okay, we have actually seen that this person does their work well, And on top of it, ever since they came, our place is spot on clean. Wouldn't it be a bad idea if we upgrade this person or we find something more that we can do to this person? I mean, as humans, we naturally respond to kindness. In whatever we do, we just naturally are drawn to someone who's kind. We are drawn to doing good for other people. And once we are done, once something good is done to you, it's almost always like a ripple effect that you also want to do something for that person. That person will be like, oh, wow, they've done this for me. I'll make an example. Like, at our home, when our neighbors give us a plate of nzungu, when we take that plate back, we don't take it empty-handed. We take that plate with something inside, maybe wufu or whatever inside. So sometimes, I think most of the times, we sometimes feel that kindness, mental health, all these things that are being thrown to us, how do they relate to me as a person? How do they make sense to me in my African perspective, me here in Zimbabwe? Like, if I was to do something kind for someone here in Zimbabwe, in Harare, what would I do? So sometimes we think like maybe of these big things to say, if I am kind, I would have bought a house in Borodale. But no, it can be something as, if I'm kind, I can, when I'm standing in my Superco queue, I just let the older person who's standing behind me in front of me. That's kindness enough. If I'm sitting maybe in a Zupco combi and it's full and the standing starts, I give the next elderly person or the next person I see, wow, this is an old person, I definitely can stand this journey. Why don't I give them this seat? So yes, there are small things that we can do that can have a great impact. I was once given a seat by a school student who gave me their place. And I was like, oh, wow, this is really nice. I have actually never been offered a seat before. And I was really thinking to say, what can I do for this person? Because it's great. I mean, okay, this is so nice. I've been tired my whole day, and here you are, out of the blue. What could top my day off? And I just opened my purse and I was like, okay, here is a note. You can buy whatever you want. And he was like, no, it's not necessary. I was like, yes, it's necessary, because I need you to continue being kind, and I need you to continue doing this kindness for other people. So yes, kindness can be relatable to us in Africa. We don't have an excuse. No one has an excuse to say, oh, but I'm poor. Oh, but I don't have this. Yes, you have something. Everyone has something. You have knowledge, you have the strength, you have power. We have different things that we can offer. And if we are to hold hands with everyone and start the journey of kindness, because it starts with me, I am sure we're going to reap much at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we've heard what kindness is. We've been given the insights into the kindness. We've heard the relationship between the mental well-being and kindness. So moving on and actually keep on getting deeper, Miss Edith has joined us again. Miss Edith, why is it so important to be kind? Yes, you have explained everything and you've given us the acts of kindness, but why is it really so important to be kind, especially in this modern world? Please just give us how it's very important to be kind, and how do you inspire kindness really?
So thank you. I like the part where Miss Evelyn actually gave the example of an individual having to clean the place for somebody else, doing somebody else's duty. And then in the long run, people end up saying, let's promote this person because he or she has been doing or has been acting kind to the next person. So kindness, it's actually assists in people getting grateful for for actions that you take. It also boosts an individual's confidence. It helps in creating connections. Like, trust me, many people have created connections just by a simple act of kindness. It also helps in networking, like you get to help someone without even thinking of what they can do back to you. Then the next thing, maybe you are in business, the next thing you hear them saying, I want to network with young people mental health trust simply because Tapua once assisted me with something that I wanted to do on a social media engagement. And you also get to understand that being kind will help in creating relations, like strong relationships between people. And it also helps in an individual getting to be respected by the people around them. You earn respect by what you do for people. I like the statement which says respect is earned, not demanded. You don't get to demand respect, but you get to earn it because you are being kind to the next person. You are doing good. You're not being asked to greet the elders. You're not being asked to help the elders, but you're just doing it as a selfless act. And in return, you get respect. Those are some of the aspects whereby you get to a company and you see someone who's very young being respected by everyone else just simply because they've been doing acts of kindness. And also kindness, like we once mentioned when we're talking about psychological well-being, it boosts one's emotional, it boosts one's physical well-being. And just being kind, it motivates you even to take care of yourself as an individual. Then you asked, how does one inspire kindness? So as an individual, yes, it is hard. People, we are born or we are made differently, and we are even raised differently. But imagine you just being kind all the time to the next person, uh, being happy, smiling all the time, being mindful of the actions that you do to them. The next thing, that same person is going to feel obliged to be kind to you also. Sometimes you also get to be kind by the way maybe talking to the people. Sometimes you have to talk to them, get help them to get to understand that being kind means A, B, C, D. Or sometimes people don't really know. Someone may not even know what is being kind, like maybe basically because of the way they were raised or because of what they learned along the way. So it is important to explain to the person what is kindness, what does kindness do. Get to talk to them, help them to understand what is kindness. But the major thing to do is you showing kindness all the way, inspiring it to the next person. Like as a parent, parents, we as children, we get to learn from what you do, or we get to learn by seeing. So as parents, it is important that you are also kind to your children. Be kind to your children, be kind to the people next to you, and children definitely will copy and see the good deeds that you'll be doing as an elder, and they'll also be able to extend them to others, be it in school, be it in church, be it at home, or wherever they go. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Miss Evelyn, I'm sure in this modern world, we can learn both the negatives and the positives of being kind. Please give us an insight of, both the positives and the negatives that we actually learn from just being kind in general.
Okay. Definitely sometimes you can do something good, but the output of it comes out in a negative way or in a way that one hasn't anticipated. But before anything happens, I feel like you have to prepare yourself first and be able to be in a mindset or in a frame of mind that you can be able to withstand anything that comes to you. So one of the things that comes to mind right now is setting boundaries. One of the ways that you can be able to deal with situations is you know yourself. So setting boundaries is all about knowing where you stop and where I begin. So that's all about boundaries. So if I know to say, okay, this person starts here with me, whether be it when we look at all the types of boundaries, physical, social, sexual, you understand yourself first. So before we do anything, you have to understand yourself first so that you can then be able to say, okay, no, this is selfish. This is now selfless. Because if we don't know the demarcation of saying what is selflessness, what is selfishness, then you won't really engage in any acts of kindness because you're like, oh, I see this phone, I want it. But then you can say, okay, I've got a second pair of a phone and you do not have any phone, Kelvin. So I can be like, oh, okay, since I already have a phone, it will be nice of me to do the next nice kind thing and I give it to Kelvin. But if we do not have that boundary, that demarcation of saying, who am I? Who is Kelvin? Then we have a challenge. There was a time when I think I felt offended when maybe we are discussing on a topic, say I'll make it simple like flowers, and I'll be like, okay, I like pink flowers. And if Kelvin comes and says, I like blue flowers, I'm like, no, you like pink flowers. Why wouldn't you like pink flowers? I mean, they are so pretty. Okay, fine. Try to like red flowers because it is they're close to pink and who doesn't like roses? But then I came to see, okay, not everyone really does like pink flowers anyway, or they don't have a reason to like them because maybe they grew up being exposed to blue flowers and seeing green flowers, and that's what they appreciate and that's what they like. So if you appreciate and know who you are first, it's easy for you to appreciate and accept the next person. So if you do your act of kindness and you sweep the room and no one acknowledges it, you're okay to say, okay, I swept this room because I wanted to sweep this room and it feels right. It makes me feel good to sweep this room. That other people are not taking it the right way or saying, who does she think she is sweeping the room? Does she know there's someone to sweep? Well, it's okay. That is them. You do you, but you don't do you in a very selfish way. You do you in a good way to say, I'll continue being good. I'll continue doing the nice things, even if people don't take me the wrong way or I am interpreted negatively.
Okay, thank you. As a psychologist as well, coming to you, Miss Edith, how does kindness change the brain? Does it have anything that it actually like inflicts in our brain to make us better?
Well, I would say yes, it has an impact to an individual's brains. Like let's take for example, I had a very stressful day, maybe at work, or I was just feeling unhappy. Then I walk out of the gates and I see a child who is in need of help. Then I assist that child. Maybe they have lost their mother. I assist them to get their mother. That's an act of kindness. And when their mother just says thank you, imagine the feeling of having someone saying thank you to you. Everyone loves a thank you. Everyone loves a you did well and excellent and then all that. So when someone does, or when someone is kind to the next individual, you the brain tends to be alert. There's that aspect of alertness. There's that aspect of being aware or being mindful of the surroundings. There's also that aspect whereby the individual gets to be conscious because now you are not only doing it for yourself. Sometimes when I'm doing things for myself alone, I could actually do them subconsciously or even unconsciously. But when there's someone that I have to do it for. Sometimes I feel like I have to do it perfectly, or I have to do it in a nice manner. So I am conscious of the surroundings. So my brain is triggered to be conscious. My brain is triggered to be in the environment where I am, so that I will be able to make the right impact that I want to make. And like Evelyn mentioned, that even if I do the act of kindness and no one appreciates it, my brain is conscious, so I tend to even appreciate myself because I have been kind and I have done it and I feel fulfilled. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Due to our time, please just round up everything to do with kindness. In short, please just give us a short conclusion on kindness.
Okay. So basically, being kind. I like the part where it says being kind starts with me. It starts with me being kind to myself. And when I am kind to myself, I'll be able even to be selfless, because I know that myself, I'm well taken care of already. So I'll be able to take care of the next person. And kindness is basically an act of benevolence, whereby I take care of the needs of the next person. And some of the acts of kindness are what we do on a day-to-day basis to assist the next person. It could be assisting our parents at home. It could be assisting our bosses at work. It could actually even be assisting a friend, even giving someone mental health insights. That's kind. Those are acts of kindness. And it is always important to note that kindness is very important, as it helps in boosting my individual confidence. It helps in making you being understood by the next person. It also helps even in creating stronger relations. It helps in networking. Kindness is a very important aspect of life. Selfishness will only breed contempt and hatred. But being kind, even if to that person who hates you or that person who doesn't like you, sometimes they are left with no option than to just like you, because you have been kind, or you are kind to yourself and the environment. Thank you so much.
On the show, Miss Evelyn. And Miss Edith, thank you very much for joining us as well. Please just give us a very short conclusion on kindness.
Okay, my conclusion on kindness, I would love to give a charge to the youth. As the youth, I am a youth representing the youth. I think it is important for us it's high time. I mean, if everybody's talking about it, then it means we have to action it. It's high time we start the change. I mean, I think our theme is mental health in an unequal world. And one of the reasons why we are talking about kindness is that someone has sat down and seen that, oh, what a harsh world we live in today, what an evil place that we are in. And I think kindness, I will take the unequalness, the harshness as the darkness. And I think bringing kindness into the picture is just that small light that you see at the end of the tunnel to say, let's keep on walking in this direction. Let's keep on trying to do those constant nice acts and see how the world becomes. We are the future for tomorrow. We are the world. The world is looking at us. What we do now matters. I mean, for the adults, it's already done. It's a done deal for them. But for us, we are the ones who are yet to change the future. And if we continue in this unequal way, in this harsh environment, then we are heading for disaster. And where will be the light? Because at the end of it all, we all know that the light always wins, and we cannot fight darkness with darkness. If you're harsh and I'm also harsh, we don't change the world to become a better place. And we have to change the world to become a better place.
Well, it was an honor having you, Madam. Thank you very much for joining in. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our show. I'm sure you've heard one or two notes concerning what kindness is and how to practice it and how to become better in our daily living. And for us, for some of you guys who want to get in touch, please, you can check the information concerning the organization on yourpethealth.co.zw. Thank you.